Hello everyone, I hope you can hear my voice. Let me know in the chat box. I'm waiting for more students to join. Do confirm whether you can hear me or not, alright? If you have any problem, let me know. Once we have enough number of students, we'll start. Let's wait for some more students to join. Alright, Shayan, good evening. I'm waiting for more students to join. Once we have a good number, we'll start. Alright. Okay. So Shayan, let me know, have you done any of the previous sessions so far? Shayan Chaudhary, have you done any of the sessions previously held on decision making in XAT? Oh, you have done both. That's awesome to know. Okay, fine. So, Shayan, very clearly, we do not need to go through the explanation of uh, points like what are the key points to keep in mind when we do decision making questions, right? Okay. Nikita says your first class. Okay, Nikita. Manudeep. Manudeep, I can read your question. It's hard to say whether it's helpful or not, or it would be helpful or not. It would give you some practice for sure, but I think I suggest you solve the previous year papers. That should give you a very good uh, experience in terms of practice, right? Okay. Pradanya Arjun says it's his first class, no problem. That's all right. I'll just assume that most of you guys have not done this class earlier. Okay, so I'll quickly tell you. In today's session, I would take you through the basics of decision making quickly, and then I'll give you some interesting questions to solve. You have to use your best judgment to come to the right answer. All right, so let's straight away start now. So if you have been preparing for XAT, or if you have done it earlier, or if you are doing it for the first time, irrespective, you may be aware that you might get broadly two category of questions. One of them is known as, of course, individual type questions, where one question typically has a set of information that is given to you, and then you are supposed to answer the question on the basis of the information given, right? In the second type, what happens is that a set of information is given, but the number of questions is higher. So you might have a set of information, but you may get 3, 4, 5 questions on the same piece of information, which means that you have to read it only once and you would be able to answer more number of questions, right? To that extent, it has more return on investment, right? Now in the previous two sessions, we have done broadly group-based questions or group questions, but we haven't done too many of them, right? As days pass and as we do more sessions, I'll take you through more such questions. But without spending more time, let me quickly take you through the checklist. Now, if you have done my session earlier, you already know, but if it's your first time, you should probably take a quick look and keep these in mind when I give you a case after this. Okay, so whenever you're doing a decision making question for an exam like XAT, and I strongly suggest that you do my previous classes also, so that you have a broad idea. Whenever you are making a choice in DM questions, your answer should always address the problem directly. That's the first principle we follow. Second principle we follow is we have to make a fair choice. So you're not supposed to do injustice, right? Injustice nahi chalega. That's a cornerstone of DM questions. Third rule that we follow is that we always consider the point of view of the affected parties, AP's affected parties. Now, this again is a very basic idea that we must follow when we are making decisions, taking decisions on somebody's behalf, but we don't do that, right? We tend to decide and forget. We tend to decide assuming that we are the only ones who are getting affected by the choice, but you have to consider what would be the impact on the affected parties, right? Next, try to maximize profits and minimize losses. But as you know, if you have done my previous classes, that in decision making questions in XAT, there is a Lakshman Rekha. There is a limit that we don't usually cross, and that Lakshman Rekha is ethics. We do not do anything unethical, right? So unethical things are not acceptable unless you are saving lives. That's the only rule we follow. Next, your choices should not lead to status quo. Basically means status quo means as it was or as it is. Don't let things as they are. So if you have a problem and you do not decide, you take no action, then you are broadly doing nothing, right? Avoid doing that. Extreme decisions should be avoided. So killing or straight away firing or forcing people or straight away threatening people or doing something negative straight away or using words like always or only or never should be avoided because they tend to become extreme choices. Try to avoid punishing the victim. So if one of your employees is coming late, don't fire the person because the person may be a victim of circumstances, right? So be more gentle, be more fair, and look at the point of view of the affected party. Then take a decision. And of course, no negative solution. So don't choose an option which leads to further problems, right? Avoid short-term solutions. Think about midterm and long-term solutions. 1 year down the line, 5 years down the line, rather than only 2 days or 5 days. Correct? Avoid that. And as you know, your choices must be ethical. Correct. So based on these 9 points, try to choose the optimal solution. Now remember, we are not in the business of looking for perfect choices. Okay, we are not looking for perfect choices. We are looking for optimal choices. Right? Extremely important point. Now, based on what I just told you, could you quickly take a look at this question and answer? Maybe 90 seconds should be good enough time for this, right? I'm waiting for your solutions, please. So you have 90 seconds. You can take 2 minutes also. Read the information and answer the question. Here you go. So Sharan and Pradnya and Nikita and others, please make sure that you try your best in this question, right? So read and pay close attention to the words used, to the question asked, and answer. Okay, so Ritu Kamal has answered already. Ritu is going for option D for Delhi. All right. Ayu is going for option A. Nikita says option A. Okay, fine. All right. Shubham Soni is going for option E. Now let me quickly ask you guys. There's a marriage ceremony going on outside, and I'm not sure if that's disturbing you because they are playing DJ, which is making me lose my concentration, right? Because I feel like going and dancing there actually. But I hope you guys are not getting disturbed. Are you? Let me know. Not that I can do much, but still. Okay. Though I'm using noise cancellation uh, headphones, but I'm not too sure about. I am pretty sure about their capacity to create distraction, right? Okay. Nikita says no problem. Ayush says not at all. Then it's fine. Then I'm happy. All right. So how about others? Sayan, what's your answer? And okay, who else is left? Pradanya, what's your answer? Okay, rest of you have answered, which is fine, which is nice. No problem. Fair enough. So now Radhika says A, Shayan says D for Delhi, and literary Pantheon, that's a nice name though. Literary Pantheon says A. Ashutosh, Ashutosh, you are saying it's not clear, means you do not know what the answer should be, right? Which is fine. Don't worry. Okay, fair enough. Now, let me quickly give you a lowdown on the problem. एक बार देखते हैं problem क्या है. Once we understand the problem, we would know what the solution should be. Okay, keeping in mind everything that I have discussed so far. So here it says there is a kingdom of Rose, and there is a kingdom B, which are adjacent to each other. They share their border, right? Like India, Pakistan, or India, China, or something like that. Both share a common border. They also share a border with kingdom C. So C is here, which is bigger. Okay, so let me create a bigger kingdom. Okay, I created small one. So let's say this is C. C is much bigger, right? So let's create C. C is much bigger. Fine. Okay, Ashutosh. Okay. I thought you were answering the question. And then it says, though individually their armies were no match to his might, so King Jonathan rules this country, and A and B individually cannot face this guy, right? So A individually, let's say A's army is 5 lakh, and B's army is, let's say, 5 lakh, and Jonathan's army is, let's say, 7 lakh. So individually these guys can't, A and B cannot do anything to C, but together they can, right? But I'm taking random figures just to justify, just to explain, correct? I don't know, कुछ पता नहीं मुझे, but I'm just assuming. Now there is a twist in the story. कहानी में twist. It says Jonathan's kingdom also bordered Kingdom K on the opposite side, making Kingdom C a buffer state. Buffer state is a state which comes between two states, right? So C is a buffer state, and K is ruled by Somersault. So SS rules it, and King K has united groups under him, and it has regular fights, skirmishes with Kingdom C, right? They keep on fighting. Small fights, the way India and Pakistan sometimes have fights at the borders, or China, India had skirmishes, not big fights, not big battles, but fights. Now, question says, Jonathan, this guy, aims to invade and annex Kingdom K. Now, Jonathan का plan है कि K को हड़प लेते हैं, annex it, make it part of C. Question is, which of the following options will best enable him to accomplish the ambition? Now remember people, yesterday also I made it very clear, if you do not understand the question, you cannot answer the question. Very simple. Question says, out of these 5 choices, which option will make Jonathan achieve his goal? Is that clear? You are a wise man, तुम्हें बहुत आता है, बहुत ज्ञान है, ज्ञानी बाबा हो. Jonathan comes and says, Gyani Baba, please help me. What should I do that makes me acquire country K? And suppose you are the Gyani Baba and you say, you should do A. Do A. A says, Jonathan should request the cooperation of Queen Rose and Queen Emily. Are you sure these guys would agree? First problem. Second, do you have any idea about the capacity of King K? King K's army is not mentioned. What if King K has let's say 30 lakh soldiers? Would A and B really help C? Maybe, maybe not. They would be like, why would I get into this fight? Kyun panga le? No? So are you sure, Radhika, if or Ashutosh, if Jonathan does A, if he requests, उसका काम हो जाएगा? So let me give you a question. Suppose I come to and I say, I want to buy a Mercedes. Please advise. Please advise. And you say, request the shopkeeper. How good is your suggestion? You're assuming the shopkeeper would be like, oh, you need a Mercedes? Please take one. पैसा वैसा देने की जरूरत नहीं है. Are you sure? The request will help. Similarly, if you choose B, it says he should sign a peace treaty with Queen Rose and Queen Emily. Sign a peace treaty with A and B. How does that help? Let me ask you a simple question. If I want to acquire a country, what should I do? I should acquire it by force. Do you think a country will say, okay, please come and acquire me? It has to be defeated, right? How do I defeat? I need to have larger army, more power, right? When Hitler wanted to dominate Europe, acquire entire Europe as his own country, what did he do? Did he request? Did he go and say, okay, let's sign peace treaty? If you have a peace treaty with A and B, how does it help you acquire K? Does it? Really? So very clearly B is out of question. B will not help for sure, right? A will not enable. Word is enable. Enable means make him sure, make him capable enough to do that. Now, C says, I think Ajay chose C. He should try and create a rift between two queens. If these two queens become enemies to each other, how does it help C acquire K? Ajay, please explain. Any idea? So, Ayu, Ashutosh, I hope you have understood why your answers went wrong. Option A is definitely not a good choice. It will not enable uh, Jonathan to acquire K for sure. Requesting, right? Correct. Okay. So let's try D. He should secretly invest in doubling his army. Now, look at the word doubling. Do you see this? What is very important? Doubling. Why double? Suppose Jonathan attacks with his 7 lakh the country K. Country K may seek help from these two guys, and they can come with their 10 lakh soldiers. Along with K's army, they can easily take care of Jonathan. Correct? You get that? But what if he doubles his army? Let's say he makes it 14 lakh. Now, with 14 lakh soldiers, there is a chance that he would be able to acquire K even if A and B come to help K. Correct? Better chance. But there is a word here. It says reducing all other expenditure. Reducing all other expenditure. Now remember, it says reducing. It doesn't say stop. So maybe he can spend less on infrastructure or education or health, but he should double his army, because we have to do what? We have to make sure that he can acquire the country. We have to get the job done, guys. That's the most important point. Remember, get the job done, right? This one can get the job done. Now let's try E. Ashutosh, yes, that is true. It is possible, no? See, all these numbers of army people I'm taking, I hope you understand, I'm taking random figures, no? It can change any time depending on how you take it. For example, suppose A and B have 2 lakh each and C has 15 lakh. No, let's make it 9 and 5. So individually they can't fight him, but together they can fight. What if K has 15 lakh? Remember, they have had skirmishes. छोटी छोटी लड़ाई होती है इन लोगों में. क्यों? शायद दोनों एक जैसे कंट्रीज हैं पावर वाइज. Correct? Now what if he makes it 30 lakh? His chance of acquiring this country is much higher. And if he has 30 lakh soldiers, even if these three guys come together, then also they are evenly matched. And if these guys come individually, then they will become cutlets for sure. You get the point? Double करने का फायदा. Chance ज़्यादा है ना? Enable. Remember, is it a perfect choice? No. But is it not the most workable, practicable, and doable choice? For sure. You get the point? Now look at option E. It says he should attack all 3 kingdoms simultaneously. You understand? कुल्हाड़ी पे पैर मारना या कुल्हाड़ी पे सर मारना. Option E is that suggestion, no? What do you think? So I was taken aback a little, Shubham, when you said E. If he attacks all 3, what if these 3 countries together right now have more armies than they have? As it is, remember. यहाँ पे देखो, आप थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज कर गए हो, शायद ये आपने डेटा ध्यान से नहीं देखा है. आई एम नॉट श्योर अबाउट इट. राइट? Who said E? Right? I forgot the name, but I hope you understand that A and B together have more power than C has, right? So let's say they are 8, 7 and this guy is 14. And let's say this guy has 10 lakh soldiers. Option E is saying attack all 3. Do you really think it's a suggestion that is worth consideration? Are you not telling C to practically commit suicide? What do you think? Absolutely. Yes. Sayan is saying पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी. Yeah, कुल्हाड़ी पे पैर, in fact. So is A going to enable him? No. Is B going to enable him? No. Will C enable him? C is in fact irrelevant. Even if A and B fight, how does it enable him to acquire K? It doesn't. And E will in fact lead to probably these three countries acquiring C and not C acquiring K. Understood? So let me quickly know in the chat, did you follow the logic here and why the answer should be considered as D? Did you notice the way we eliminated choices on the basis of the word best enable him to accomplish? Best enable him to accomplish. We are trying to help this guy. We are there. We are this guy's advisors, mantri, right? We have to give him the right counsel. Correct? All right. Let's not. We do not have a lot of time left, so let's quickly go to another one. So, I have read your response, but I hope you understand these numbers are random. No, we do not know. We are just looking at the possibilities. Correct? Now try this. This one is pretty easy. The first two parts are same, so you don't have to spend time. Just read the third part carefully. Yes. Now this one is an interesting question because it's asking you to decide between two groups of friends. Who would you go with, right? ये question थोड़ा interesting है to that extent, right? Ayu has already answered. Ayu, that definitely we are choosing the best one after eliminating others, right? So your answer may not be perfect. There would still be some doubts, some element of debate, but we are looking at the best possible ones based on the parameters we have decided, right? That's always the case. Optimal choice, not the perfect choice. Okay, how about others? Can I have some quick answers, please? Sayan says 5. Asutosh between 3 and 5. Okay. Literary Pantheon 3rd. Okay, I'll wait for 10 more seconds. Be quick, please. Fifth one. All right. Okay. Now, let me ask you. The last paragraph says King Somersault was growing tired of warring tribes who slowed down the overall economic development. If I ask you what is the problem behind slowing down of economy, what's your answer? Is it lack of teachers, doctors and artists? Is it lack of teachers, doctors and artists? Yes or no? Tell me. Do you really think so? Look at this, guys. This is how you go wrong in these papers, right? This kind of an exam. It says, fifth option says, a lot of you have chosen fifth. It says, request Jonathan to send teachers, doctors, and artists. Does this country not have them? Please read the case and tell me, where does it show that this country does not have teachers, doctors, and artists? Please read and let me know. Does it say that? On the other hand, the case clearly says that the overall economic development is slowing down because the tribes are fighting. So look at it. Case says tribes are fighting and therefore economy is slowing down, and your solution is teachers bulao, doctors bulao, artists bulao. So the person comes back and says, sir, ये लड़ाई कर रहे हैं आपस में, trucks नहीं जा सकती, they are bombing each other, they are fighting, they are killing, there is economic, there's a situation which is prevailing across the country, people are scared, there is fear everywhere. Your solution is, okay, call doctors, call artists, call teachers. Are you sure? Is this your solution? Yes, please. Do you really think this will solve the problem? Do you remember the rule number 1 I taught you? I said, address the problem, not symptoms. What's the problem? Warring tribes. What's your solution? More teachers. And Jonathan and Somersault, they have had fights. They have been fighting. And you are requesting Jonathan to send doctors and teachers. What kind of a solution is that? I hope it is very clear why fifth will not solve the problem at all. Correct? Is this clear, everyone? Very clearly, fifth is a massively wrong choice. Now, how about third? If the problem is warring tribes, can your answer be economic plans? You tell me that first. Can it be a negative solution like instigate a civil war? Can we do that? अपनी country में लड़ाई लगवा दो. So your answer has to be between 1 or 2. Now think about it, guys. 1 says go to Jonathan. Option 2 says go to the queens. Who do you think will be able to help more? Will Jonathan help or will the queen, those two queens help? कहाँ chances ज़्यादा हैं help मिलने के? You tell me. Based on the case. Quickly. Absolutely. If India and Pakistan have been fighting at the border, if India and China have been fighting at the border, and if we have a problem to solve, should we go to the countries we have been fighting or to the countries we have had no fighting at all? Very clearly, where do we have higher chance of getting help? Countries we never have fought with, right? Yes, that's correct, Ayu. Jonathan may be, I don't know, more capable, I don't know, but Jonathan may have more money, probably. He has a big army. I don't know, but even North Korea has a big army, but no money. Correct? I don't know. But they are enemies, or at least they are not friends. Who is likely to help more? That's the question. Right? Now, align with Jonathan? Out of question. Align with two queens? Better choice. And what do you do after that? Eliminate a few tribes. Suppose some tribes are absolutely horrible in terms of not listening to the king. Eliminate them and unify the rest. Correct? You can also see in option 1, it says eliminate 1 or 2 tribes and instill fear in others. They might be scared today, but they can come back and fight with you again tomorrow. And Jonathan is the first problem already. So which one is the better choice? Between 1 and 2. Suppose we have enmity with a country, let's say China, and China's ruler is more capable. Should we go and ask for help there? Or a country which is probably which never had any fights with us? This is the kind of question we are facing here. So do you understand why second would be a much better choice than the rest of the choices? Because it solves the problem directly. And what was the problem? The problem was economic instability because of warring tribes. So we solved it. Get the point? Are you? Yes. Rule of terror can be unethical, but it can not be unethical also depending on who are we trying to instill fear in, right? But I hope you get the broad idea why option A is still something we would like to eliminate. Correct? So I'm stopping it here, everyone. If you like the session, let your friends know, subscribe, leave a like, and we would have more sessions in the coming days. Please do come back, join, and I would try to share more such questions and the intricate details behind them, and how to make sure that you not only get the cutoff but you get a higher percentile in this section so that you can do much better in the overall XAT exam. Alright, my name is Krishnendu Dutta and this was a session on Gradeup. Please let us know how you liked it. I'll see you again. Thanks a lot. Shayan, older papers would be sufficient, right? Don't have to go for any book. We have the course going on at Gradeup. You can join that as well. You're most welcome there. Thank you, Ayu. Do come back and join again. We have sessions at the same time lined up. All right. Thanks a lot, people. Thank you. Thank you, Asutosh. All right. I'll see you then. Thank you.